like, and subscribe.
Welcome, folks. Another update recap for February the 4th, 2026. And that was a Wednesday. And as you can see here, we're down $131. Big mistake here was a penny stock, MOBX, that took us down. FOMO con. That's what I call it. This stock didn't even show up on the screen, on any of the screeners. And we just happened to hear about it in a chat, and we got FOMO taken in. And then the last trade on BOXL was just a desperation revenge trade. But what can you do? So that was it. And with that loss, this puts us back on the month, $83. So down on February. And it did have me bothered. So I went onto the simulator and to try my luck. And of course, I took some liberties, and as you can do in the simulator, because you can claim as much money as you want. And I played, but I did stick to some of the small rules. And I wasn't so much interested in the amount of money or the shares I was taking. I was interested in the entries and the exits. And as you can see there, it did pretty good, except for a couple of trades. Of course, had I waited during regular time to trade SUNE, I probably would have been a lot better. So we started out the day, and I decided to start with one share on EVGN. I thought it had potential, even though it didn't appear as a potential. I liked the setup, the fact that it was away from the VWAP. I liked the fact that it was above the 200, and I thought the potential was there, but I wasn't so sure that it was ready at 115 or below. I did buy in at 115 and sold at 111, so I lost 40 cents. But then as it starts to cross the VWAP, I realized that there was probably something here to be had. So I jumped in for 500 at $1.19, and I figured I'd wait it out, and I thought there was a surge of volume that was going to come in. And there's a penny or so, but not much. And I decided not to hold it. I said, you know what? I'm going to be diligent, and I'm not going to be waiting for it, the 5 or 6 cents that I was hoping to get out of it. And here I'm about less than $5, and of course $5 for 1,000 shares. It really doesn't cut it, because it's not a whole lot of money. You're using up half of a 2K account. Here we're up about $10 and sold there. I wasn't going to wait for more. And we were up $15 $14.96. And then here comes MOBX right up before the open, and somebody mentioned it in the chat, and I hear it, and what drew me into this was the fact that it had news. And I thought, well, 30 cents, and then I did check the daily, and I thought there's room up to 70 cents. I didn't think it was going to make it that high, but the problem was, this wasn't on the screeners. At least I didn't see it on any of the gap up screeners that I had, and I didn't even hear it on Zendu. So I just heard it on the chat, and it was, I think, it's just a FOMO, looking to get a big score, because there was nothing else earlier in the market. Had been very very subtle. There hadn't been much to trade. And here I'm trying to convince myself that there's a technical situation to jump in, but there wasn't. And amazingly enough, so far I haven't gotten uh, uh, how should I say this, bothered by the fact that I've been losing money the past 6 weeks. But this one particularly bothered me because if I had not been in the chat, I would have never known that this stock uh, was making a move, a tiny move. I've heard of this stock before. I've seen it before in the past 15 months, and I don't remember whether I traded it to a good outcome or not. And but so I traded it and I sold, and I think what did I lose, like 40 cents or something the very first time. So we were in with 2,000 shares, obviously at 30 cents, not a whole lot of money. But also the problem is if it doesn't move much, you're not going to make much money. Here we were up like $5-6 at the most at the top, and we're looking for a lot more than that. We're looking for a bigger score. We're up 14 there, and very quickly comes back down. And here now we're down 40 cents, and I got scared that it was going to dump. And I had the right intuition that it was going to dump. So here we're still up, $14.60 on the day. And look what it does. It goes up more. So now it FOMOs, the FOMO becomes greater. We want to throw in our pennies in that bag, in that box, in that ugly box, and make more money, right? So we're waiting here, and it's already reached the upper band of the VWAP. So I should have known better. But stubborn gorillas are easily FOMO'd. So I thought I was being smart here. Oh, I'll let it come down. And of course, now it's during the open. And I said, no, I can't jump in right off the bat. I'm going to give it a few minutes. I'm going to be smart. And what a fool believes, right? So now it goes back up. It recovers itself. And now I'm looking, maybe 40 cents is possible. And I jump in with 2,000 shares again. And this time I'm not as cautious to sell it because I'm in the open market. So I figured, you know what? It's probably going to go up. It can only go up. It's got news, and it's a very low priced stock. People are going to want to jump in just for a few bucks when there's nothing else. But to my surprise, people weren't interested in this one. And EVGN that we had traded earlier just had that single move. So I guess right on that other single move, and I did not go back in to try to get more. This one I lost the 40 cents right off the bat, and I thought it had possibility, and I jump in, and then I don't cut the cord right away. And this really bugged me. I thought, you know what, this is a very big size loss for me, at least. Not as big as some of the ones I've taken, but it is the cumulative drawdown that was hitting me with this particular trade. And that's one of the reasons I went onto the simulator, because I was upset at myself. And so I spent the day. I didn't do the recap on that Wednesday afternoon. I spent the day going back through Thinkorswim, I went back, looked at uh, searching for answers, indicators, and then searching my mind myself for um, how should I put this? I mean, after the time I've spent trading, I have knowledge. I have very good instincts. All I need to do is use them and be more mechanical in when I get into a trade. So here now we're down into the $60, and for some reason I could not get myself to sell. I was just staring at the screen like a big dummy, and it's one of the things that I've been struggling in the past 6 weeks. I'm looking at the screen and I don't realize that if you lose a few cents, you got to cut it. You got to get out. And I did it on the first trade. I lost 40 cents. That was terrific. But here, it's like you're seduced by the thought of a big win, and you're not going to get a huge win out of 30 cents of a 30-cent stock. It's silly. And I know I have the discipline. I know I'm capable, yet doubt. That's the word I was looking for. So I found myself, I think, the whole afternoon and the whole day and into the evening thinking about what I'm going to do. And I really came to the realization that if I don't have a couple of good days before this week and next week, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be trading. I saw a couple of monitors. An LG monitor is on sale at Costco's, and LG has a $30 rebate. I'm not professing LG monitors, by the way. It's just that I saw it, and it's 1440, but it is 3K, 4K, so it's 3000 by 1440 and 120 hertz curved. And I thought, oh wow, look at that! So it's down to 269 with the rebate. So it's typically 300 with a $30 rebate from LG, and it's the offer is good until the 8th. And I thought, you know what? With all the money I'm losing, I'm just gonna go out and get myself 2 monitors and set them up and start playing World of Warcraft and be done with the market, because World of Warcraft is $15 a month subscription, a lot less than what I've been losing on the market. So, and we also have this pending crash hanging over our head. And what has happened is maybe the golden economy that was promised isn't there. It's just not. You reduce the number of people that buy products, your economy is going to tank. I mean, that's just. You don't have to be an economist to figure that out, right? The more demand there is for something, the lower the prices will go, because people will begin to hire more to produce more, and prices go down. That's not what's happening. With less demand and folks demanding higher wages, the cost of goods is going to go up. With tariffs, the cost of goods is going to go up, and as they do, folks are going to start not spending their money on consumables that they don't absolutely have to have, and it reduces the number of people who buy stuff. For all I hear about folks that hate on Cali, I'll tell you something. In my neighborhood, I'm not nowhere near the studios, the Hollywood studios and all that, but on the weekends, our neighborhood, the fancy restaurants that are, $50 a person, are full. There's no room. From Thursday to Sunday, the places are packed, and it's not one or two restaurants. I mean, rows and rows of restaurants, and we got a couple of malls that are full. Movie houses are full. People are spending their money, and if you go to a takeout place, not a McDonald's, not a or Burger King or any of those Carl's, but a little step up on food, there are crowds of cars, and you've got 15, 20, 30-minute wait for food because it's so crowded. So I can imagine that the economy is worse in other places than it is near or around me, and yet we're seeing a market that is tanking, the crypto that is tanking, and the outlook looks very bleak in the near term. So I finally cut it there, over $130 loss. And this gust is the word here for this one. So I see BOXL, and I'm going to take it out on BOXL, and I'm going to go for at least 10, another $15 at least, so I can reduce the impact, which is idiotic. But it was an emotion-filled day for me that Wednesday. Crazy, I know. But anyway, so in my neighborhood, the economy seems to be booming, at least in a local area. But yet, for the rest of the country, it looks like folks are hurting, and people are not buying as much, and our economy could be in trouble if it continues this way, and things don't shape up, and folks don't start looking at what makes an economy grow, which isn't a reduction in people. It is an increase in people. Think about it. The medieval times, kings would adjunct land and peasants because the more people they had, the more they could plant, the more food they could grow, and the more for themselves. So the people in power need to wake up pretty soon if they still have a chance to recover. Anyway, so this was our Wednesday. Put us back down $83. If you watch it, thank you. Hit the like, subscribe if you find it useful. And the next recap will have the new format, I think. Or is this it? Maybe this is it, the new format. But you'll get to see what happened today, because today is the 5th, so I'm a day behind on the recaps. So hopefully, at least if you don't enjoy my whining, send some crackers. At least the videos will keep you entertained for at least a couple of seconds. So thanks again for watching. Hope you had a better day than me. Enjoy.